After the black and gold brand stole the night 24 hours prior, will the dandy highwayman steal even more? Let's find out together. This is NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 Graded. Just the one match on the kickoff show. It's Breezango, who are dressed as Adamant, wink, taking on Drake Maverick and Killian Dain. Drake gets battered for a long time in this match, makes the hot tag to Dain, who runs through everybody. Finish of the match comes with Drake looking for a high five from his buddy. Dane's not in that place yet, so power bombs him instead onto Fandango. This is enough to earn them the 3 count, and Killian Dain and Drake Maverick, as a result of this win, are the #1 contenders for the NXT Tag Team titles. B- on this. Nothing massively exciting or game-changing here, but it was a fun knockabout tag team encounter on the pre-show. The show opens proper with Poppy, and after spending several days explaining, no, I'm not a pirate, no, I'm not the guy from My Chemical Romance, I'm Adamant, he did a song in the 80s, how happy was I to hear Poppy singing Stand and Deliver? I'd like to thank Poppy for suddenly making my outfit a lot cooler. First match of the night is to determine an undisputed Cruiserweight champion in NXT. It is Jordan Devlin versus Santos Escobar. Big Asai moonsault from Jordan Devlin. Briefly puts Devlin in charge in this one, but a lot of this is Santos finding creative ways to beat up Jordan Devlin with ladders. Devlin tries to get back into this on a couple of occasions and finally does with a gorgeous standing Spanish fly, a cutter, and a really crisp moonsault off the ladder. Look, like a sort of moonsault you'd see play out in a video game. It was very smoothly done. We see Legado run in to stop Devlin from climbing the ladder at one point, and this is where we see him laid outside, but he manages to recover, run up the ladder to meet Santos Escobar, hit Santos with a Spanish fly off the top. Again, another lovely move. Escobar recovers, rejoins Devlin at the top of the ladder, and ends up headbutting him boof, straight in the chest. Devlin goes flying backwards through another ladder, and this is the moment that Santos needs to grab both Cruiserweight championships and become the undisputed Cruiserweight champion. B+ for this one. Some breathtaking moments in terms of spots and moments throughout this, but there was a weird energy with this one, and there always will be when you're doing a heel versus heel match. I think kind of Santos was starting to become the sort of de facto babyface. I think celebrating with your son at the top of the ramp post-match is a big indicator that maybe you were the kind of the de facto face here. But yeah, I think a few people said online there was a bit of a weird energy about this one. But some good stuff was done in there. There was really cool spots throughout it. We'll give it a B+. The NXT Women's Tag Team Championships to be decided. Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon defending against the Ways, Candice Michelle and Indy Hartwell. Lots of love for Shotzi and Ember's entrance. They just look cool, don't they? They just do. LeRae and Hartwell end up jumping the champs pretty much from the off, and they isolate Shotzi for the longest of times. We see Shotzi land an Inzaguri to get the hot tag to Ember. She goes wild, even does a little shake, rattle and roll and a suck it in homage to Road Dogg, who we know has had some health issues lately, and we send our best, but that was a nice little nod to the diggity dog, I think. Shotzi goes for a dive after all 4 of them land a Tower of Doom. Like, there was this amazing 4-person Tower of Doom spot. Really lovely done. Hartwell picking up a near fall as the dust was settling on that. Shotzi Blackheart then goes for a dive, and jeez, are you all right, Shotzi? Because she goes to hit Candice and Indy outside. It looks like they both move, and it looked like Shotzi just crumpled into the barricade. She's got those Lita crumple physics, has Shotzi Blackheart. It looked like she did herself a mischief here, but I think she was all right. The end of this match comes with Moon landing a double eclipse on Candice and Indy, and Shotzi following up with a big old ball pit dive off the top for the 1, 2, 3. Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon retain their NXT Women's Tag Team titles. Giving it a B, a decent enough match here. I don't feel like this doesn't feel like a truly stepped up takeover match. This feels like a very high quality TV match. So, but what they did was fine. It's just, this is a weekend where, like, all the bar is so incredibly high. But I thought what they did was good. It was exciting. Shotzi Blackheart terrifies me every time she leaves her feet. I feel like she's about to just fold up like an accordion. We see Gable Stevenson ringside. This is the freestyle wrestler who's been setting Twitter and such alight by saying he's ready for a run in WWE. And you take one look at this guy and you're like, yeah, there's a guy there that's going to take over the industry. And Stephanie McMahon, who was stood next to him doing all this, she knows she's about to make some money. She knows. Watch for him. I think he's going to be a thing, you know. The North American Championship decided next. Johnny Gargano defending against the winner of the Gauntlet Eliminator, Bronson Reed. And Bronson just overpowers Gargano early into this. Gargano tries to get in with a springboard, a slingshot spear that when he just threw the ropes, he just bounces off Bronson Reed like he was a wall. That was quite a funny spot, I think. Gargano eventually gets into this one after he's flummoxed that springboard spear. He finds a way to shut down Reed. He pushes him ribs first into the announce desk. And from there on, you've got this target in the form of the ribs there. And he just makes good on that, just works over the ribs slowly but surely until Johnny catches him coming off the top, or until Bronson catches Johnny coming off the top with a power slam. That looks, mwah, chef's kisses. Yes, I do the motion and say it. Shut up. He follows that up, does our boy Bronson, with a huge deadlift jagged edge for a near fall. I like that. Gargano's corner backstabber that he hits afterwards looks painful, but it manages to turn the tide for Gargano for just a couple of minutes. Gargano comes back with a poison rana, gets the Gargano escape in there on Bronson. Bronson's able to get out of it. He avoids a final beat on the outside onto the ramp. He powerbombs Johnny Gargano back into the ring. But Gargano dodges a tsunami splash just to hang on in there in this match. Reed goes one more time for the tsunami. This ends up being his undoing as we see Theory try and run interception. This gives Gargano time to stop the move from going down. And Johnny goes for a top rope Frankensteiner. Reed was meant to, I believe, catch him and powerbomb him. But unfortunately, like, the move kind of went a bit wrong where Gargano slipped through. So both guys get off the top, and then Bronson just does a standard powerbomb for a near fall. Felt for them there. End comes with Reed absorbing multiple super kicks, landing one of his own, but finding no water in the pool for a moonsault of all things. This sets up for the final beat, and that gives you not just one, but two final beats for the 1, 2, 3. Johnny Gargano retaining the North American Championship over a very game Bronson Reed. This one given a B+2. Really stepped up here, did Bronson Reed. This was a really strong match that really put Bronson on the map a little bit more. But again, didn't lack that sparkle that the matches had last night for whatever reason. And I'm very aware that I sound very ungrateful, but it's just the fact that last night was so good, we can't help but compare. But this was still a really strong match. The NXT Championship is on the line. It's the first of our co-main events. Finn Balor defending the title against Karrion Kross. Balor smiling a lot at the start of this match as he's outwitting and outmaneuvering Karrion Kross. And all this does is make Kross cross. He's Karrion Kross, he's Kross. He's Karrion Kross, he's Kross. He's Karrion Kross, you get it. Kross has enough of Balor. He ends up getting physical with him, and Balor's still able to keep him grounded. The story of this match is that Karrion Kross is very angry and keeps getting these big power moves in on Balor, but Balor is able to control his own rage, channel it, and break down Karrion Kross. And this is really superb storytelling from NXT, because this is what they've been saying on TV for quite some time. The Karrion Kross just has this rage that he can't control, and Finn Balor is at a point where he can control it, and he will out-wrestle Karrion Kross throughout it. And for a long time, he does. Like, he out-wrestles Karrion Kross. We see Kross get some momentum with an Oklahoma Stampede at one point, but that is until Balor quickly turns it into a reverse drop. And we see Kross pushing forward again. He gets a powerbomb, but only gets a near fall from it. He goes for that reverse forearm to finish off Balor. Balor sees it coming, lands a Pele kick and a coup de grace. Pinfall on the coup de grace. But at a 2, not only does Kross kick out, but he goes for the cross jacket. He puts that sleeper hold in on Finn Balor, which is a really lovely transition. Balor's able to roll out of it, though, and hit the double stomp. Puts an abdominal stretch onto Karrion Kross at this point. He's won against Kyle O'Reilly with this stretch. And there's Scarlett at ringside speaking in tongues. This seems to get into the head of Karrion Kross, who basically fights his way out of it using that raw anger, and just punches and punches and punches and punches on Finn Balor until Balor just goes limp. Here comes Karrion Kross, who deadlifts Finn Balor up, hits the Doomsday Saito, hits 2 running forearms, and gets the 1, 2, 3. And Karrion Kross is your new NXT champion. This was an absolute journey, and I'm giving it an A+. The story they told over the last several weeks perfectly played out here. Wrestling stories don't have to be massively complicated. What they told here was Finn Balor saying, I've controlled my anger, you haven't, that'll be your undoing. Kross saying, I know, but I'm going to batter you anyway. I'm Kross. I'm Karrion Kross. They told that really well, and the fact that Kross's just brute strength still overcame a technically savvy Finn Balor, that's a great story they tell as well. And there's room to tell more of the story. Really love this. It was, I think as Jack put this was a thinking man's championship match, and I absolutely loved it. The other half of our co-main event, an unsanctioned match between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. New music for both guys here. A little bit generic on the music, but whatever, we'll forgive it. Security guards between them both as the announcer is officially beginning the match, and as soon as the bell sounds, just strikes from both, they very quickly end up outside. Adam Cole, with an Undisputed Era branded steel chair, manages to take O'Reilly out and is on top of O'Reilly for a good long while in this one. O'Reilly fights back and introduces a chain soon after this, but it gets used against him as Adam Cole lands a neck breaker for a near fall onto the chain. Cole gets a figure 4 as well with the chain wrapped around him. Some real creative use of the weaponry throughout this one. And from here, Adam Cole keeps the pressure on. He tries to repeat history by going for that brainbuster onto the steel steps, but O'Reilly is able to use a front face lock to break that momentum of Adam Cole. And he thinks, I'm going to do that myself. I'm going to brainbuster you on the steel steps. But he stops. He has a bit of a crisis of conscience. And this gives Adam Cole an in to start beating him up again. And then the first chance O'Reilly gets, he goes, nah, that was my bad. I should have just decked you. So he gets him onto the announce table, drops him with a brainbuster onto the announce table. Good story told there. Didn't want to hurt him. And then when Cole beat him up anyway, he went, nah, sod ya. Bang. Did it anyway. Adam Cole smacks Kyle O'Reilly with a monitor from ringside to put himself back in control. He gets out a toolbox and pulls out a wrench and a tire iron. Doesn't get a chance to use the tire iron. Instead, as Kyle O'Reilly manages to take control back in this match once again, what we see is we see O'Reilly avoid a shot with the tire iron. Then he lands another brainbuster and then a chain-assisted armbar into a choke. This was a really, again, just using that space creatively. It was great here. Cole used the tire iron to break the hold. And we then call back to Kyle O'Reilly's injured liver from a month or so back and targeting that area. Good work by Wade Barrett to call that one back. They end up, after this, when the dust has settled from some of the action we've seen, they both end up in the ring sat on chairs, which have been propped up, just punching each other like 2 old men in a pub, just at this point just spent already. And they're punching and kicking each other from the sitting position. We see this strike exchange end with Adam Cole hitting a low blow, followed by a super kick for a very near fall. Cole goes for a one-man concerto, looking to break Kyle O'Reilly's neck. The referee tries to talk Adam Cole out of it, and the referee ends up getting pushed away as a result of this. Then Adam Cole decides to go for a Panama Sunrise instead. Hits it, but there's no referee to make the count. And Kyle O'Reilly makes the decision to roll out of the ring and roll up the ramp to avoid getting pinned. And as they are fighting up and around the ramp, we see Kyle O'Reilly with a desperation front face lock and Adam Cole falls forward, and they both go crashing through the stage, just disappearing into oblivion. Adam Cole is able to pull himself out of the hole. Hey, it rhymed. Go round the side. He kicks a hole in the ramp to pull Kyle O'Reilly through, gets him back into the ring, and once he's back in the ring, just in an absolute state, we see Kyle O'Reilly roll out of the ring. So Adam Cole rolls out to meet him, finally hits that suplex, that brainbuster style move onto the steel steps, a repeat of pretty much how all this started. Back into the ring goes Kyle O'Reilly. Adam Cole makes the cover, and then we see the most subtle kick out I have ever witnessed as a wrestling fan. Like, there was no powerful arm pushed into the air by Kyle O'Reilly. Literally, it's like just the shoulder muscle moves, and the referee calls it. The camera zooms in on it. He is so done. Like, his shoulder just about gets off the ramp, and that is off the mat, and that is all it is. It's the most subtle of kickouts. Almost made you emotional. It was so beautifully done. Cole goes for a last shot, but O'Reilly is so done at this point, he just collapses. Cole picks him up, screams in his face, goes for it one more time, but this time O'Reilly is able to duck the move altogether and put a leg lock in nice and tight. We see Cole break it with the chain wrapped around his hand, punches O'Reilly in the face, and then sorry by now you're thinking, that's it. But no, somehow O'Reilly is able to counter the Panama Sunrise, and insult to injury, lands the last shot on Adam Cole for another ridiculously close count. Like, at this point we are deep into false finish frenzy from here on in. Somehow after that counter, Kyle looks like he is going to Pillmanize Adam Cole. He's got the chair on his leg and everything. However, Cole manages to get up just as Kyle O'Reilly's going up top and crack him with the steel chair. From here, Adam Cole sets up a steel chair so it's kind of the wrong way up, so all the legs are facing up, and you think we're going for something really grim here. Adam Cole goes up top with Kyle O'Reilly, and he's just trash talking at this point, and Kyle O'Reilly lands a low blow. He wraps a chain in it, which sends Adam Cole to the floor. And then here we go. Kyle O'Reilly wraps the chain around his leg, around his knee, does a diving knee drop, crashes into Adam Cole, who in turn goes face first into that upright chair. Kyle O'Reilly rolls him over. 1, 2, 3. Kyle O'Reilly wins the match. Just an absolute brawl here. The last shot we see is of O'Reilly staggering to the back, looking back as medics check on Adam Cole. This was an A+, easily an A+. Is this the best TakeOver main event ever? It's a bold statement. If it's not the best, it's in consideration. It's in the top 3. The passion, the fury, the energy, the pace, you were encapsulated by this. This just absolutely stole the week for me so far, this match. It was just incredible to see these two put this together. And there is something really lovely about the fact that this feud of close friends ripped apart, now in an unsanctioned match trying to settle their differences, was put together by Triple H and Shawn Michaels, who in 2002 did a story where they were friends ripped apart, fighting in an unsanctioned match to settle their differences. They were the right people to put this whole thing together. This was excellent. A heck of a main event. It's an easy A+. Overall, NXT TakeOver Night 2 is an A. Same grade as last night, but slightly different in the sense that I feel Night 1 had a wider scope of A grade level matches. This one had a slower start, but the main events, the co-main events, not only stood up, but they over-delivered. And it's an easy A for NXT TakeOver. And once again, NXT goes, all right, WWE, now it's your turn. They're good like that, aren't they? I'm going to miss wearing this outfit. It really itches the back of my neck. And thank you to Poppy for telling people who I actually am. I never thought it would end up being Poppy that would be the person that would help explain that I'm not dressed as a friggin' pirate. Stay safe. Love you, bye.